Welcome to Zooming to Webinar Success. If you're needing to plan a virtual meeting and are stuck, this series is for you. Full-time voice artist Grant Holmes is also a busy virtual meeting manager and on-screen host. Learn tips and tricks to having successful virtual meetings from step one. Here's your host, Grant Holmes.
Hello. If it's Wednesday, it must be Zooming to Webinar Success. In episode 4, we discussed defining the purpose, goals, or objectives of your webinar. And hopefully you now have defined why you're having your webinar, or better, what you want to accomplish. Today's episode, number 5, we're going to talk about strategy. Now, think about those learning by firehose memes you've seen. We get the metaphor. So defining what you wanted should accomplish or inform how you want to go about your inaugural webinar. In other words, we don't want to fire hose your audience with everything you've got to offer at once. We want to break it down. Let's assume several things for the purpose of this video. Assumption 1, you have hundreds or more followers on various social media platforms and or hundreds of legit email contacts, and for legit, we'll discuss that on a later episode. Assumption 2, they like your content that you've been dribbling out piecemeal. And this is not a slam on that approach. In fact, it's how we want to build an audience, and that'll be used to make a point in just a minute. Assumption 3, you've decided to sell, we'll just say, a coaching package, again, for the purpose of this episode. Now, how we deliver that is going to be another episode. So to reiterate, you've got an audience that to some degree is asking for a webinar or wants more content, and your end goal is to sell coaching. The goal might be different for you specifically. You may want to sell a course, a book, a later paid webinar, or have yet another goal. But this at least will help us move forward. So the point is obvious here, to use this first webinar to whet their appetite, not satisfy them. As I think it was P.T. Barnum might have said, always leave them wanting for more, and it's certainly an old theater adage. This is where piecemeal comes back in. We don't want to dump everything we know. We want to tease and, feed. Use this webinar to set the stage to bring your audience all to the same place, especially this first one. What do I mean? Remember that, let's call your story so far a book. Remember that some of your early audience joined at the preface of the story, some joined in at chapter 1, 3, 7, and some joined last week and have been binge reading or watching your episodes ever since. So let's start with the basics. Where did you come from? Tell us the history, the relatable history to the story. What got you into this situation that you want to solve or that you have solved? What was your breaking point that helped you decide you were going to do it and do it now? How did you test your hypothesis? How did you know that what you're providing worked? Who else found the solution valuable? And do you have any testimonials that you can use besides yourself? These first 5 all help your audience to know you better and all kind of have a common ground now for the rest of your webinar. And that doesn't have to be real long as far as content. Now, do you have a free whatever to give away that starts helping someone without having to buy your full coaching package? Maybe you have a free PDF or a short recording that helps them start going. Remember our assumption that our goal is selling coaching. Have you priced your coaching according to the value and benefit to the buyer? What do I mean? Well, let's say that you want to charge $1,000 for your coaching. Great. You may be worth that. But if it's only going to benefit the buyer by $100, you have to wonder why someone would buy. Anyhow, there's likely even more to decide, but even that is a lot of information to assemble and put into an initial offering package. From my experience as a professional presenter, corporate trainer, and webinar moderator, I can tell you to plan your webinars, especially this first one, to come in under 30 minutes. If you can do all the above in a really short period of time, less than 15 minutes, you may want more proof of concept and meat for your audience. It might seem hurried or rushed or like, where's the content? Where's the real value? I don't get it yet. More than 30 minutes and you'd better be a stunningly amazing presenter. I notice that my clients often start losing audience, and remember we're talking webinars here, after about 20 minutes, and it really drops off at 30 minutes. There's many reasons for this, including, hey, my lunch break's over. Therefore, I try to encourage, especially initial webinars, to land in that 20 to 30 minute sweet spot. Remember, we have to open the webinar with a little bit of talking and introduce you. We have to close it with the offer, and that all takes time too. And then we need to also consider that there might be a short time for Q&A, and we've got a strategy for that too. Several issues will control your time. How interesting are you? How valuable is your content? How interesting is your content? Is it revealing? Is it stunning? Is it going to shake people up? And quite frankly, the day and time that it's held. And sometimes there's other factors that we just don't know. The goal here is to get people to the webinar, establish you and your credentials to prove your value and worth, and then offer the next step, in this case, your coaching package. This is where we might create a limited offer, like taking only the first 10 people into your coaching program, and offer the free downloadable PDF that people can start with on their own. There are many strategies and tactics, so this is only one. Hopefully you see how we're moving people along now. Free webinar, there must be value, not just a sales presentation. Another offer or free thing that people can do, maybe they can't afford your program. An offer to enroll in the coaching program, and maybe instead we do the first 10 people get 15% off. I'd love to hear your questions and comments, and if you need help, feel free to reach out. This series is intended for smaller organizations and solopreneurs that may not be tech savvy, don't know all the steps, or quite frankly, don't want to know or try to manage them all. And over the series, I'm going to lead you through all the significant decisions and capabilities you'll need to Zoom to webinar success. And as always, again, if you need my help, don't hesitate to reach out. VoicePro@grantsvoice.com. Thanks for watching.